Hello everyone. Hope y'all are doing okay today, this fine Saturday. Switch over to YouTube scene. I just feel like streaming a little bit today. Gonna be mostly a chill stream today. If you guys want to chat at all or anything, I'm open to chatting and stuff like that. So probably closer to a just chatting stream than a normal art stream. Can't find any good background music to use. Down a bit because mainly the background music's just there to kind of occupy space. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I am just a chillin'. I've got my probably need to reduce the activation thresholds for this. There we go. Now my avatar should bounce and stuff as appropriate. What is your question? It better not be about Hiro the Dense. BioShock 2, yes, I have played BioShock 2. I also played BioShock 1. I also played BioShock Infinite, which was a dogshit game, and I'm very annoyed that it was celebrated as such a revolutionary piece of gaming, because it was really fucking bad. Anyway, why do you ask about Bioshock? I think it's annoying. Let me just put on Pizza Tower. At the moment, I am just drawing some character model things. At the moment, I am drawing a mecha style thing. At the moment, I am not in a Pathfinder. Well, I'm not in a Pathfinder 2 campaign at the moment. The one that I was running before, I got burned out running it. But the premise of that was basically it was a. Premise of it was, I like to call it the Undead Mafia. All the players had some kind of tie to the undead, and they were basically part of a mafia operating in Absalom under the leadership of a vampire noble. He was basically working on his own plan to kind of try and take over the city. And like, his goals and stuff were like more that of like a gangster rather than like, you know, ooh, evil undead, stuff like that. But I wound up getting burned out because running is very hard sometimes. Yes, I was the GM. But the premise of it was basically to allow players to play kind of whatever morally ambiguous characters that they wanted, without it being like disruptive to the game. Just as long as they don't betray the mafia and stuff, they can be as evil or as noble as they want. And overall that worked out pretty well, though some players and stuff were really afraid to do anything like malicious or anything like that, and other players and stuff really wanted to lean into the whole like, hey, I'm a monster, I'm gonna eat people kind of thing. There was still a bit of dichotomy there, but it wasn't super disruptive to the game otherwise. don't know if I would call this one a good boy. Please stop arting all over the place. Your family is scared. No, they must be subsumed into the artistic process. Nice tits. Thanks. I grew them myself. Hello, welcome to the stream, where all of your dreams can become memes. Probably only going to be streaming for like an hour. So if you guys want to see, here's a Toho comic that I drew the other night. I'll leave it up on screen while I think about what to draw next. I was doing some character drawing stuff specifically. I'm trying to think of like some character, like background character designs for my setting and stuff like that. I almost wonder if I shouldn't just like take to playing games occasionally on this channel. One thing that's kind of rough is like I like doing a lot of different things, but I don't do them very consistently or frequently. So like I don't upload very frequently to my channel. And the problem that I have is that people will subscribe for one thing, and then YouTube will recommend them my other content because it's all that comes through. And then they'll kind of get upset and then they'll unsubscribe because of that. And as a result, then YouTube is like, oh, your subscribers don't really want to see this content, so we're not going to suggest it to people, even though it has an audience. And it's like I really like talking and doing stuff about tabletop stuff, but also a lot of people subscribe to my channel because of like Hiro the Dents and stuff, and they have no interest in tabletop whatsoever. And so like being like a multi-purpose channel and stuff winds up hurting a lot of my retention and stuff. It's frustrating. Well, not just the last Hero video, like, it's affecting all of my videos on my channel. And it's like, I don't know, like, if I should just keep going as I do and just not care about it, or if I should try making, like... I do not want to make a second channel, is the thing. But, like... I don't know. Because, like, I already upload very rarely. And so making a second channel will just be that much bigger of a gap between uploads. I mean, my channel is not going all right, that's the thing. YouTube, my videos and stuff basically get sabotaged algorithmically because I am doing multiple different topics, and so when YouTube will recommend topic A to audience B, it's a bad match, and then they'll stop recommending video A to audience A as well, even though audience A is the one that is intended to get it. Let's see. Yeah, it's like, oftentimes the solution to this is, oh, make a new channel for your other content, and it's like, yeah, I already very rarely upload. I don't think that's a good idea. Well, the thing is, I'd still get dunked by the algorithm even more for frequency of uploads. Basically, it would basically double my viewer retention, but also have my upload frequency, so I'd have half the frequency retention. My channel makes peanuts in terms of how much in revenue it makes. It does not make enough to pay for an editor. If I'm paying for that, it'd be paying for it via alternative sources. The thing is, a lot of proposed solutions, they're great if you are somebody who is primarily using YouTube as your platform, but for somebody like me who is like, I only use it on occasion, because like most of my income and stuff comes from like Patreon and stuff like that, and it's for content that isn't going up on YouTube. No, you can make pretty good money off of YouTube and stuff and doing videos and stuff, especially if you're factoring in sponsorships. Generally, like the people who say that YouTube is not a platform to make money off of haven't actually seen how profitable YouTube can actually be, or how much work actually goes into it. But the problem is that it's very consuming and stuff, and you have to basically focus primarily on doing YouTube stuff, which is, again, I like doing what I do right now, and it's not something that I can put up on YouTube, other than on a rare occasion. Warning, the stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended. What do you want me to do about it, YouTube? I can't pause the stream and change it. I'm also not the one that set this video to ultra low latency. YouTube is giving me shit. I'm not really sure what you're... I'm not really understanding what you're saying there, Kilu. For the record as well, it's also not my first rodeo and stuff. I've had my YouTube channel since 2008, and from 2012 to 2015 I actually ran a online studio over YouTube, and that was actually really profitable. But during that time I was basically dedicating my entire time to managing YouTube. I was doing very little stuff of my own, like, personal projects and stuff outside of the channel. And then when YouTube made some algorithmic changes and stuff, it kind of torpedoed our channel. We eventually shelved it, kind of started doing your own things. But trust me, I know, like, how to manage things. And it's not something that I can really just throw other individuals at for it to work. I'd have to be in a manager position myself. And Kilu, like, having assistants in making videos is one thing, making the videos themselves is an entirely other thing. Like, even with assistants, I still have to go and record and write and script and animate all that stuff for those videos, even if I have somebody to assist me with it. Shy of them making the video entirely themselves and stuff, I'm still going to have to, like, invest a lot of time and resources into making a video. Thank you, Lucas. The Pathfinder video was kind of sitting for a very, very long time, just because I had so much shit going on when I was trying to make it, and it had nothing to do with the video itself. Like, if you guys remember, I had the situation with Facebook, which, holy shit, I got that resolved, which is great, but still. I had also my PC situation, which was annoying. If you want to learn how to draw digital, I mean, the key thing is to start and kind of get a feel for what the tablet feels like, and just kind of acclimate yourself to what the texture is like and stuff like that. Because that's really what trips up a lot of people when they first start drawing in digital, is the texture is very different from paper and pencil. The other key thing is, like, you gotta get used to not pressing super hard. You gotta get used to using a light touch, because that'll also preserve your it'll preserve the lifespan of your product. And like you can do crazy things with like pressure sensitivity and stuff, and you can set up your own pressure curves and stuff that give you a bunch of different controls. So like you can get a thick line with even the lightest press, like so. And so taking advantage of that, great. The other thing as well for digital art, get used to using hotkeys. Have one hand on your keyboard and the other hand on your tablet if you're using any tablet actually. Did I go to art school to learn how to draw bodies? No, I am 100% self-taught. I've never been to an art school or art class. That's a lie. I've actually had one art class, and it was called New Media in high school, where we learned how to use things like Photoshop, and I knew more than the teacher did. So that was the only formal education I had on digital art and art in general. The way I've learned otherwise is just through a lot of practice and a lot of observation and drawing what I like. It's the other thing as well. Fundamental studies are important, but make sure that you're enjoying yourself, because it is a lot easier to practice when you care about what you're drawing. So if you only want to draw anime waifus and stuff, you go for it. Just be sure to try and do things with those drawings that is pushing you. I prefer digital because I can Control Z. And also I got cool brushes and stuff, and also it doesn't use up paper, so I don't have to go out and buy materials. I started drawing digital back in 2000. Let's see, I started it when I was 15. So would have been all the way back in like 2007 or 2008 when I got my first tablet, and I originally got it strictly so that way I could have an easier time modifying textures when modding games and making like user-generated content for some games, like Second Life and stuff like that. Then I found a tutorial on DeviantArt by a artist who basically kind of instructed how to draw in shade using his method, using a tablet, and I just kind of followed along and I started doing art. Hello, hi, howdy. Fumo, you say? Which Fumo should I draw? Name a character for Fumo. Momiji Fumo time. Or is it like the overdrive remix of War? Which is not what we're listening to at the moment. This is Momichi from the hit music video Bad Apple, which inspired the video game series Toho Project. Remember, don't fuck with Toho fans, we haven't played the games. One girl that I draw a lot, this one, is Pivot. She is the star of my currently defunct webcomic that I want to revive one day. I will pull up some more art of her so you can see what she looks like. This is her. Making a webcomic is hard work, and I wound up writing myself into a corner, and I still haven't forgiven myself for it. Yes, she's a robot. And they're not hooves, they're just very small feet, but she has heels. As you can see right here. Well, Blackwell, if you want to go find out more about her, my webcomic is actually linked in the description. It is still there because that is one of the defaults that I set, and I guess people can still just read the original. What I want to do, though, is I want to basically overhaul the entire webcomic, streamline a few things and stuff, and also just make the world feel a little bit more consistent. I want to lean more into, like, the cyberpunk feel of things. I actually really want to try and design like a tabletop system based on my setting. Any news on the plush? Yes, it is taking a very long time for me to get things developed. There have been a lot of issues with the design process overall, because I guess this plush is just more complicated than Pivot. But yes, I am working on... Hopefully I will be able to announce something about a new plush soon. I want to try and also get some videos going and stuff for that. The old webcomic will wind up going to an archive. I don't believe in, like, destroying work. I have done that before in the past where I've removed things from the internet, but, like, I don't agree with that anymore. So when I do finally get things going, if and when I do, my plan is going to be to make a separate archive section of the website where you can still view the old website and the old comic. Ideally, I don't know anything about web design, unfortunately, so that's one of the biggest hurdles for like doing a web comic for me. But what I want to do is I want my domain to have I want there to be two like sub URLs for my domain. One that goes to the archives for the old web comic, and then one that goes to the new webcomic location, which is a completely different site layout and stuff like that. Thank you, Pakitorio. Well, if you post over on Twitter, you can always tag me, or on Newgrounds as well. If you want to draw her and you just want me to see it and stuff, you can also shoot me an email. I've got my email link behind a CAPTCHA on my channel page. That's always an option. For webcomics and stuff, honestly, like, the art isn't so much the hard part. The art is, like, the time-consuming part, in my opinion. Writing is writing is something that, like, has a lot lower bar of entry, but it is also something that is a lot harder overall. Because, like, one problem that a lot of people have with webcomics overall when they're making them, and I've ran into this before, is that you want to wait until you have the entire story fleshed out and it's perfect, and then you'll start doing it, and then you'll want to basically completely shift what you're doing. And so you basically either do all this prep work that you don't use, or you wind up into a situation where you basically just keep writing and rewriting until you never actually make the thing that you're trying to make. Unfortunately, Cecil is still bad at flipping pancakes. She's nearsighted. guess. The thing with the PVO2 universe, so if you guys want to know a little bit about the lore, this wasn't something that I really had fully fleshed out in the original run of the webcomic, but it's one of the things that I really want to focus a lot on in the reboot whenever that comes. There's essentially two kinds of synthetic robot characters. There are automatons, which are basically they're basically any machine that has a level of intelligence and stuff, but it's always artificial. They can be anywhere from very simple to very complex, but the key thing is that they are still inherently synthetic. They are not able to do the exact same things that humans can do. The thing with androids, however, is that they are formed via they have a logic core that essentially is made from essentially scanning a human brain and a human's personality and essentially encoding that through a billion different like connections and references to basically form the basis of their logic, so that way they're able to make decisions with discretion like a human would. So as a result, androids and stuff are very different from automatons, and they're a lot closer to how humans act. And this was originally meant to be kind of a shortcut in terms of like programming efficiency, and nobody exactly knows exactly how this works. And a lot of the process on how androids are created has kind of been lost or destroyed or subject to misinformation. The key thing is that one new element that I want to introduce into the PvO2 universe is that there's also this phenomenon known as glitching, where a glitch basically is a malicious. It's essentially like a malicious. It's essentially like some malicious code and stuff that's kind of like a digital hive mind essentially, and it winds up overriding a lot of AI coding. The key thing is that androids and stuff, because they are made from a process that is far more complex and impossible to understand, they can't be overwritten. So they are actually resistant to this. The most that winds up happening is that they wind up feeling like discomfort and stuff like that, or they might get stunned. But the key thing is that they can actually resist the effects of glitching. So therefore, they are good candidates to basically keep glitches in check and basically embattle them and stuff, because there's areas in the world that are essentially overrun with basically rogue AI. And that's basically the synopsis of what I want to do for the series. I hope that sounds interesting. Talking about robots while drawing a Toho on screen, which has nothing to do with the robots. Glitching is something that happens for automatons specifically, as well as any other forms of lower AI. Essentially, basically just subsumed into the hive mind. And so then, the other thing as well is that vigilance, or vigil as I'm going to shorten it to, they were basically the organization Pivot worked for, which was kind of like a heroes association originally. Vigil instead would have the purpose of dealing with glitch outbreaks directly, which is something that they'd be uniquely equipped to do. But overall, I want to basically try and put a more central conflict in there, so that way things can actually like advance forward a little bit more, and I have a better idea of what I want to do with the story and where I want to go with it. Because like the issue I had with PvO2 is I was kind of meandering and doing a few random things, and I had some ideas for the late game and stuff, but like a lot of it was just, oh, I want to do this because I feel like it, not because it actually like says anything or has any relevance to the plot. And that's why I kind of wound up running into a rough spot in PvO2's story, just because at the very end I really didn't know what I was doing or where to go with it. And I was basically a lot of it was also me exploring plot threads and side characters that I really didn't want to write about. And I don't have the guts to just kill them off or anything. The problem is that it wasn't little a slice of life. It was a lot of a slice of life. Where like it felt like the actual plot that I wanted to tell was taking a back seat to slice of life adventures. A Gynoid is a female android, so yes. And despite the name android referring to man, that is more of a gender-neutral term. It can refer to a male robot, or a male, male robot, I guess. But nobody's going to be confused if you call Pivot an android. Sometimes I wish I had a full VTuber model so that way, like, I could emote more, express more. Now you just got me sitting in this chest here, occasionally bouncing as I talk. I don't even have a fucking mouth. You guys can't see what I'm actually, like, talking and stuff. But anyway, I've actually got a game that I am going to be running later today. By the way, if you guys want to know a little bit about some tabletop stuff... Well, no. Basically what I'm saying is that androids have a natural resistance, so they can't be glitched. When I say resistant, I don't mean that they're capable of being controlled. I mean, they basically get significantly reduced effects. Like, a glitch still is going to wind up affecting an android, but they're not going to fall under, they're not going to join the hive mind or anything. They'll at most get something like a headache or become stunned, or they'll be disoriented by it, but they stay in control of their faculties is the big thing. Like, right here, this little robot dude that I was drawing is actually an example of one of the is basically a glitched robot that was basically produced by the glitch. And they have something known as a basilisk inside their head that they basically can extrude, which is going to, at close range, it basically winds up overriding the directives of any other AI. But for anything that is not intelligent, or is too intelligent to be controlled, it's painful to look at, even for organic creatures. Which I'm borrowing some language from Lancer. Lancer is such a fucking cool system. So, like, when you see, like, distortions like this, literally that is what it will wind up looking like to a normal person as well. Like, it's really hard to look at and painful to, like, observe. And then for androids, it's even more painful, and for automatons, it just completely wipes their mind and causes brain damage. But speaking of Lancer, Lancer is a really cool system. You should totally check it out. I borrowed the term basilisk from the Gorgon. Additionally, one thing that I'm actually going to be doing a bit later is I'm actually going to be doing some more playtesting of a system I've been trying called Beacon, which is essentially a fantasy version of Lancer. And if it sounds interesting at all to you, you should check it out. If you don't know what Lancer is, it's a mecha TTRPG. My favorite mech in Lancer is actually the Kobold. I love tunneling and stuff, and using the terrain as basically portable bombs. It's really cool. Let's see, what about cyborgs? Are those a thing? Yes, cyborgs are absolutely a thing. Anybody, in fact, most humans have some degree of cybernetic augmentations. what qualifies as a cyborg is kind of subjective. Some people would say that like any amount of augmentation makes you a cyborg. Others would say that it needs to be at least like 50% of your body or something like that. The other thing that I also want to introduce is, well, this is probably going to be a controversial change, but I actually want to get rid of the demi-humans for the PvO2 universe because they were just kind of distracting to things. However, humans overall have access to not only cybernetic enhancements, but they also have access to genetic modifications. So some people will actually modify themselves to give themselves like either cosmetic features or sometimes more practical ones. Like some people will give themselves actual gills so they can actually breathe underwater through gene splicing and things like that. And there's some risks associated with that, but people are crazy, so they'll do it. And else, of course, there's also mechanical equivalents that for a lot of that stuff. But so overall, demi-humans are not really a thing in PvO2 universe anymore. However, there are still things similar to it, but nothing on the form of full anthropomorphism. Like the Dagonians in the original run were meant to be an entirely separate race, but like I don't know, I had nothing to do with that. Like, I had created that thing mainly just because I had some OCs that I wanted to include in the comics, so it was a contrived way of basically including them, and they didn't serve anything to the plot. And their inclusion just kind of wound up feeling forced as a result. But yes, to answer the question again, there are definitely cyborgs, and in fact, again, most people have some degree of augmentation. There's a few people who do not, but they are the exception, not the rule. The year for the PvO2 universe? I don't know. Really? It's some point in the future. It's not too far in the future, though. It's meant to kind of be more like an alternate timeline, sort of like how the Cyberpunk series is. How like things in Cyberpunk wind up diverging in the 80s compared to like our reality, stuff like that. EV Cat plush? I would if people were interested in it. I don't think people are going to be interested in it, though. Generally, people want to go for, you know, the cute girls for plushies. Cute girls tend to do better than the male characters. Though I do have the advantage of Catbot being more of a mascot style thing, but generally people want my characters more than they want me specifically. If I did a campaign for DV Cat, I'd probably pass it to a, what's it called? I mean, the plush itself would be very, very simple, at the very least. But I'd probably do a pre-order kind of thing, where it's like, or the pledge thing, where it's like, hey, pledge $2, if we get 200 pledges and stuff, you make the cat plush, and it's guaranteed to get made. Sort of like how the Pipit plush went. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I currently have another plush in the works. I'm hoping to have an announcement about that soon. It's kind of been a slow process getting it done. But it's a plush that that a lot of people have requested and want to see. So hopefully I should have some word back on that soon. With that, I think I'm going to wrap up my stream here. Just wanted to chill and chat for a little bit. Do a little bit of doodles. And your Momiji. I love Momiji, she's so good. So yeah, I'm going to cut the stream here. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to try and get back into the habit of streaming to YouTube occasionally, even if it's just small, casual things like this. because I think it's probably good for activity even if I can't upload as regularly. And it's also a good way to keep people updated. So anyway, I'm gonna get going. Good night.